Hello everybody. Today I am going to share with you one of the techniques I use when planting plants in our garden railroad. It's a technique that will allow you to plant with minimal disruption to kind of the surrounding buildings and so forth. So a while back, about 3 weeks ago or so, I bought these plants called Angelina Stone Crop from Lowe's. As you can see here, I've got one planted between these two buildings. I've got another planted between these two buildings, and I want to plant the third one in between those two buildings. And so you can see that our railroad has a 3/8 inch stone base. And so planting through a stone base can be a little bit of a challenge, especially as you try to clear out the hole to plant. Some of the stone just kind of keeps falling into the hole that you are trying to plant in. So I'm going to show you how I tackle that problem, and hopefully you'll find it helpful as well. So the first thing I want to do is clear away any of the buildings and anything that might get damaged as I'm kind of nailing in there and digging and kind of moving some of the stone around and materials around. So I just moved the buildings off to the side, and now I've got a nice clear work area to work in. Before we start digging the hole for our plant, there's one item that is essential to this technique, and that is this 5-gallon pail with the bottom cut out. Okay, so this is just a typical 5-gallon pail. Most people probably have an old one lying around the house. You simply cut the bottom out. Keep that as kind of square as possible or as flat as possible, because it'll help with the process. But what will end up happening here is that this 5-gallon pail is the thing that will plant into the ground and twist into the stone, and this will hold back all of the material that from falling into the hole, and that will allow us to scoop out all of the all of the material for the hole, and then hold everything back while we plant. Very simple tool, easy to make. You probably have a 5-gallon pail at home right now. So our plan here is to use the bucket as a barrier to the surrounding stone to keep it from falling into the hole. And as we excavate the hole, we'll keep pushing the bucket or twisting it down in more and more until we reach the soil level. Now, the soil level has a weed barrier over it. So we'll cut away the weed barrier, kind of scratch up the soil underneath so that if the roots make it down that far, they'll have someplace to go. And then we'll be able to plant our plant. So you can see after we've removed the stone from inside the bucket, we're down to the weed barrier layer. And so we'll take a knife and we'll cut that away. And now it is time to throw in some soil. Okay, with a layer of soil in the bottom, we can now put our plant into the bottom of that and then surround it by some more garden soil. Okay, now with the soil all packed in, it's time to remove the bucket. And there we go. Now the only thing we have to do now is to, we'll give it a watering and we'll kind of spray some of the soil that kind of got around things with the hose. That'll clean things up a little bit, and then we'll put the buildings back. And there you have it. A quick and easy way to plant plants in your garden railroad with minimal disruption to the landscaping and buildings and track and all the other stuff going on around it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you found it helpful.